Something shifted the moment the need to be understood died. There was a time when every misunderstanding felt like an emergency. Long texts explaining intentions, replaying conversations in the shower, trying to fix how someone else chose to see things. That's exhausting, and it trains people to keep poking just to watch the reaction. The day the explaining stopped, the room changed. Silence made others uncomfortable. Not reacting made them louder, but staying quiet wasn't weakness. It was control. Not every accusation deserves a defense. Not every rumor needs correcting. Let people sit with their assumptions. Most of the time, the noise coming from them says more about their guilt, their insecurity, their fear of losing control. When calm replaces chaos, insecure people panic. And that's when the real game starts showing itself. There's something about not chasing approval that makes certain folks restless. When someone stops trying to win the room feels it. The jokes don't land the same. The guilt trips don't work. The sudden cold behavior, meant to trigger a reaction, just hangs there awkwardly. That's because attention used to be their fuel. Every emotional outburst fed the cycle. Take that away, and all that's left is someone scrambling. Social pressure only works when a person fears being left out. Once that fear fades, manipulation looks obvious. Smirks, backhanded compliments, sudden kindness after distance. It all becomes predictable. Patterns repeat. It becomes clear who was rooting for growth and who was comfortable when things stayed small and manageable. Restraint doesn't mean feeling nothing. It means feeling everything and choosing not to explode. There were moments when disrespect could have been met with louder disrespect. Moments when proving a point would have felt satisfying, but reacting would have pulled everything back into the same mess. Staying calm while someone else spirals is powerful, not because it wins, but because it protects peace. Anger burns fast. Silence lasts longer, and silence forces others to sit with what they said or did. No yelling, no dramatic exits, just a steady shift in behavior. Less access, less emotion, less explanation. That kind of quiet adjustment speaks louder than any argument ever could. People get uncomfortable when control slips through their fingers. Especially the kind who used to steer every conversation, every decision, every mood in the room. Once boundaries stop being suggestions and start being real, the pushback begins. Comments like, "You've changed," or "What happened to you?" start popping up, as if growth is betrayal, as if refusing to tolerate nonsense is some kind of crime. It's funny how the same behavior that once got called mature suddenly becomes cold when it's no longer convenient for someone else. But growth isn't about staying familiar to people who benefited from old habits. It's about outgrowing patterns that drained energy and called it love. There's also that moment when the urge to clap back fades. Not because words aren't available, but because wasting energy on someone committed to misunderstanding feels pointless. Not everyone deserves front row access to thoughts anymore. Some conversations don't need closure, Some people don't need a final speech. Walking away without drama feels strange at first. It almost feels unfinished. But over time, it becomes clear that closure isn't something handed out by others. It's created internally by deciding the situation no longer deserves attention. That's where real freedom shows up. Not in winning the argument, but in not needing it anymore. Staying calm while someone else tries to provoke a reaction is one of the hardest things to do, especially when disrespect feels deliberate. But calm isn't about pretending nothing happened. It's about recognizing that some people want chaos because chaos keeps attention locked on them. When that attention disappears, the behavior either escalates or collapses. Watching someone unravel because the usual buttons don't work anymore says everything. No shouting needed, no threats, just composure. And composure exposes insecurity faster than insults ever could. The calmer the response, the clearer it becomes who thrives on drama and who's actually steady. There's also this quiet realization that not every relationship was meant to grow with you. Some connections were built around shared wounds, shared complaints, shared stagnation. Once healing starts, those bonds weaken. It's uncomfortable. There's nostalgia. There's doubt. But staying in spaces that require shrinking just to keep others comfortable is worse. Growth sometimes looks like distance. It looks like fewer invitations, fewer calls, less gossip. And sometimes that distance protects progress. Not everyone will clap when someone breaks old habits. Some will take it personally. That's not your burden to carry. Self-respect changes the way decisions are made. It makes saying no easier. It makes walking away less dramatic. It makes attention more selective. When validation stops being the goal, behavior shifts quietly. No more overcommitting just to be liked. No more tolerating jokes that sting. No more entertaining half-effort apologies. That doesn't make someone better than anyone else. It just means standards finally got enforced. And enforcing standards will always upset people who preferred easy access. But peace feels better than applause. And respect feels better than temporary approval. Letting life unfold without trying to control every outcome feels risky. There was a time when overthinking felt like preparation, trying to predict every reaction, every response, every move. But control is an illusion. The only real control sits in how reactions are managed. When outcomes aren't forced, things reveal themselves naturally. Fake intentions show up. Real support stands firm. Opportunities align without begging. It's not about sitting back passively. It's about acting without desperation. There's a difference. Desperation pushes. Confidence moves and waits. At some point, it becomes clear that the discomfort others feel isn't personal responsibility. Growth will always bother people who stayed the same. Silence will always scare those who relied on noise. Calm will always frustrate those who depend on chaos. And self-respect will always threaten those who benefited from low standards. That's not something to fix. It's something to accept. Not everyone will understand the shift. Not everyone needs to. The only thing that matters is that peace feels stable now. And that stability didn't come from controlling others. It came from controlling reactions. That's the real change. There's a different kind of strength that shows up when the urge to defend your name dies down. Not because lies don't sting, but because chasing every whisper gets old. At some point, it clicks that people committed to misunderstanding will always find a way to twist things. Clearing it up once is enough. After that, silence becomes the answer. The funny part is how fast rumors lose steam when there's no reaction to feed them. Folks expect outrage. They expect long explanations. They expect breakdowns. When none of that comes, the energy shifts. The ones spreading noise start looking strange, repeating the same story while the so-called villain just keeps moving. Nothing dramatic, just consistent behavior that doesn't match the gossip. Over time, actions speak in a way arguments never could, and watching truth play out without forcing it builds a different kind of confidence. Another hard truth: not everyone who gets distant is against you. Sometimes distance is just life rearranging itself. Growth changes schedules, priorities, conversations. Old dynamics don't always survive that. The mistake is trying to drag everything forward out of fear of being alone. Clinging creates resentment on both sides. Letting things settle where they naturally fall feels uncomfortable at first, but it shows who actually values the connection. No begging, no chasing, no silent scorekeeping, just space. And in that space, clarity shows up. Some people step closer, others fade out quietly. Either way, there's peace in not forcing roles anymore. Not everyone is meant to stay forever. Some were just there to teach boundaries, patience, or what not to tolerate again. And once that lesson sticks, there's no need to circle back